We'll hit the record button. So cool. We should be good to go. Hey, Sean, appreciate you taking some time to meet with me. I know these virtual meetings are a little bit different nowadays, but appreciate you taking a little bit of time. I know you're extremely busy when I talked to you last week, and I'm going to try to keep today brief, as I know it's a gorgeous day out there today, and you probably got crews all over the place that need your time, but
Absolutely.
a little bit of time. So you still good with maybe 20, 30 minutes here?
Yeah, I got some time.
Perfect. So, I mentioned last week, I reached out and, just really want to talk about some of the things that Aflac's doing, try to reinforce our value with you guys. You've been a client with us for a few years, but I'm kind of new to the relationship, and just want to kind of get on the same page and see how we can best, work with you and your company. It sounds like your company is growing a little bit right now, so that's exciting. Obviously, this is the time of year for your company to be expanding, so that's good.
Yep.
Well, I want to do a couple things here, Sean. I want to just kind of level set real quick. I know you worked with a previous agent in the past, and I just want to make sure we're exactly on the same page in regards to what Aflac does and, how we operate, what we ultimately do. So I'm going to actually share my screen with you, just walk through a couple quick slides, make sure that we're on the same page, and then, maybe dive into your business a little bit more. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So give me just a second. This should work. Technology is a wonderful thing, so we'll see what happens. Can you see a blue Aflac screen?
Yeah, I can.
Perfect. It's working today. So, with us, I'm sure you were made aware of this when you first came on board with us. When it comes to voluntary insurance, we're really the leader in the marketplace. We pride ourselves on what we do. We pride ourselves on ethics. We pride ourselves on making sure that we take care of you and your employees when those needs arise. We work with a ton of businesses out there, but at the end of the day, Sean, you work with me, okay? So I never want you picking up the phone, calling 1-800-AFLAC. I don't want your employees to have to call 1-800-AFLAC. We got a lot of resources out there, but it starts with me, and I can be that kind of resource for them and getting them in the right direction, okay? So a lot of businesses are pretty aware of the different resources or advantages of working with us, such as, the savings and payroll taxes. I notice your policies, you have a accident and a cancer policy in place with us. There are two plans that we offer, and they're both being done on a pre-tax basis. So you should be seeing a little bit of tax savings. You may not have calculated what those savings are, but typically employers will save about 7.65% on all premiums that are being deducted through the employees' paychecks. Number 2 on here talks about work comp. This is something that I don't know if you have a lot of exposure with. I know a lot of companies I work with that have, manual labor. That's a topic that they have problems with. Have you had many work comp claims on the job or no?
Yeah, I mean, I would say in the past 18 months, it's gone up a little bit more. But it's something, my accountant's been telling me it's something we need to take a look at. So yeah, that's something that we've been looking to make a change to.
Yeah. So a lot of people think Aflac work comp. What's the correlation there? So, we've actually seen some studies that show by working with Aflac, we can have a positive increase or a positive effect on your mod rate on work comp. You already have an accident plan in place with us, and that's a great thing. Work comp, a lot of times we see claims that are filed on a Monday morning, and those claims actually don't happen on the job. You kind of know what I'm talking about there at all? Is that
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Unfortunately, we sometimes have employees that may not be 100% honest, but it's because they're scared of the out-of-pocket expenses that are associated to that injury. And, you got medical bills, you've got lost wages. And so there's another product that we have that I want to talk about later that could actually help you keep that work comp mod rate down a little bit, and we can actually kind of partner to save you some money, okay?
Okay.
And the other next couple pieces here talk about hiring and retention. We know benefits is a great way to retain employees, keep them happy, but we actually have some hiring advantages that are going to be able to maybe attract that better quality employee. Maybe you've had somebody sit across the table from you and they just, didn't want to come to work for you for whatever reason, or they worked for you for a couple weeks and they left. We may actually have some solutions that can help you drive that retention a little bit stronger, okay?
Okay.
Now, the number 5 there talks about flexible funding. I'll tell you, 90% of the time when we set up an Aflac account, we're trying for simplicity. We're trying to keep it easy. And most of the time, it's just 100% employee funded. Now, a lot of business owners that I've talked to, they're trying to show their employees some value. They're trying to show their employees that they care, or quite frankly, they're just trying to take care of them. Right now we got a lot of crazy things going on out there. They want their employees to be safe, and they're trying to find additional benefits or offers that they could do, but they just don't know how to because of cost point. Now, Aflac has some very, very cost neutral solutions and some very cost contained policies that can really drive employee satisfaction and engagement. You may see that by contributing $25 or $50 a month from an employer standpoint, you can get a lot of bang for your buck. So I just wanted to let you know that is an option. If you've ever looked at maybe trying to add a life insurance policy or dental or vision, something along those lines, and you haven't known how to, we might be that partner that can help you out in that, okay? Were you aware that you're able to contribute any funds towards your Aflac premium for your employees?
I know that the agent that I sat down with when we set the account up gave me the option to contribute to buy my employees their policies, but I didn't really feel comfortable at the time with how we were growing that I thought it would affect my bottom line negatively if I was contributing too much per employee. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we may be able to come up with some options today that can, really give your employees some more coverages without really affecting your bottom line too much. And so I want to kind of just move on and really talk about your business right now. So, again, from Aflac, hopefully everything I talked about is right in line with what your thoughts were and your understanding of what we do. So if you don't mind, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment, and I want to actually kind of just discuss your business, maybe ask you a few more questions so I have a better understanding. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it sounds like you have 23, 24 employees right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're floating right around there.
Gotcha. So now landscape company, are you hiring just a lot of seasonal folks right now, or do you keep them on in the winter? Do you guys do snow removal and stay busy through the year?
Yeah, we do. We do snow removal in the winter. I would say a quarter of our employees, a quarter of those 23 employees are gonna be seasonal workers, but I got a good group of guys that work for me throughout the whole year.
Gotcha. So you mentioned how busy you are, that your company is growing. Are you looking to bring on some more employees right now?
I would say probably mid-June, we're going to add a little bit more because, mid-June, July is when we're really at our high point. So we're probably going to bring in probably 5 or 6 more guys.
Gotcha. Now, word of mouth, do your employees just kind of find their buddies to come work with them, or?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time in that industry. They're like, hey, you're off for the summer, man. Come cut some grass with me, or whatever that situation is, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. So in regards to your kind of core group of folks, would you say they've been with you for a while, or do you kind of go through, turnover every couple years?
I would say turnover is something that we don't really struggle with. A lot of my core guys have been with me for a while. I got a pretty good relationship with them. I call them my lifers. That they're going to be with me for life, and I can almost guarantee it. So turnover is not really something we're struggling with right now.
So those lifers, right? Those are the guys that are probably crucial to your business. They're
Absolutely.
the guys that you can count on to be there no matter what's going on. And they're probably training the other folks that are coming in for you. And when something happens to one of them, have you had any experience to where maybe you've had to, float them a paycheck or two, or, maybe, cover some expenses for them, let them take some extra time off? You're probably doing a lot for them. Have you ran into any of that?
Yeah, I've had to give out advances a few times. It's not really something I like to do solely because, the way that I see it, if I give an advance to one guy and then he comes back to work and talks about it to other guys, those other guys are going to be asking for an advance in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you want to stay out of the loan business, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. So when, you're looking at your business right now, you're running 100 miles an hour, you're looking at hiring some people, office staff. You got somebody in the office that handles all of your hiring for you, kind of handles that onboarding. Is there somebody there that handles that, or does that fall on your plate?
Yeah, my wife actually does all of our hiring and sourcing for jobs, things like that.
Gotcha. So does she enjoy filling out paperwork for all these guys that you hire? Is that something that's
No, she hates it. It's actually a big pain in the butt trying to keep everything, especially with the type of industry we're in, where we do have seasonal workers, where we have guys on for 4 months out of the year.
yeah.
Being able to keep all of that paperwork together and in order is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you absolutely. I have a lot of my employer groups that do hiring. They keep everything paper. It's paper forms, paper applications, trying to keep compliant, and it's a lot of legwork. It's a lot of work to do. And from a payroll perspective, does your payroll provider give you any help with onboarding employees or setting up any of their paperwork or information, or is that really just all done by you guys?
No, yeah, my wife does the hiring and she does payroll for us too.
Gotcha. Well, couple other just final things here. Have you ever looked at adding more benefits and just haven't been able to? Because right now I obviously noticed that there's no medical in place, there's no dental, there's no vision, there's no life insurance. Have you looked at adding things like that in the past?
I mean, I've looked at it. The only thing is, for a lot of these guys, they're good old boys, and adding more benefits is, might not be something they want to do. A lot of them are just looking for their paycheck so they can go get a case of beer on the weekends. And,
Yeah.
Adding more benefits has been something I think I should do, but I always don't know if the guys will pick it up or not.
When's the last time you gave a pay raise?
I would say, my lifers, after about 18 months, I'll give them a pay raise, but after you give them a pay raise, it's 6 months until they want another one.
Yeah, they don't last all year, do they?
No.
They want more. They want more.
No.
I hear you. So if you were to give one of your guys maybe a 50 cent an hour raise, do they see that as a huge uptick for you? And is that really what it's going to take, or do you have to do more than a 50 cent raise to get their attention?
Yeah, I would say it's more like a dollar raise. But then, like I said, in 6 months, they're saying, hey, I'm busting my butt. I need another dollar raise.
So adding payroll to them increases your payroll taxes,
It does.
increases your work comp. Okay. So a lot of times employers right now are trying to find alternative options as opposed to just payroll increases to try to give these guys something more. You mentioned your lifers, right? These guys that have been with you. That's the group that I really want to focus on, making sure that we're taking care of when it comes to benefits. And I'm sure you'd love to be able to see those guys have a dental plan or a vision plan. You might be surprised that it's actually more affordable than you think. So maybe we can look at getting some proposals out in regards to what that looks like, and we'll definitely do some follow up there because it's a huge advantage to do that. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple things that we might ultimately be able to do for you, Sean. A lot of times people don't think of Aflac as anything more than an accident policy. I mentioned earlier that we can help with your work comp rates, right? So there's a product that we have. It's a short-term disability. It's a very sought after plan. Have you looked at putting in any type of employer paid disability, or at least making that option available to your employees as a voluntary option?
Yeah, I've looked at adding disability, but the only thing I'm worried about is adding a disability. I almost feel like it promotes the employee to find a way to not come to work, and especially in our industry, that's something that kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah, so I would tell you, your industry, do those guys like going to the doctor?
No, absolutely not.
They don't. They don't. So our disability is safeguarded by the fact that they have to have a doctor's written excuse, written letter, written form documentation that they're off of work for a set amount of time.
I didn't know that.
We can also put in some safeguards that, we don't start paying benefits until they've been off for at least a week. So now you don't have to worry about them kind of taking advantage of that brown bottle flu in the morning or anything like that, right? They actually have to be off of work. And the flip side of that is Sean, by offering a disability policy, you may help protect yourself against those work comp rates, because your guys are coming to work, like you said, to buy that case of beer, to pay that bill, to get that money. And when they get hurt on a Saturday afternoon and they know they don't have income if they miss next week, they're going to try to file that claim on a Monday morning against you so that they're getting their benefits, right? So they're getting their bills paid.
Yep.
When they have Aflac, they know that they have that safety net, that protection that's going to pay their bills for them, and they actually seek out care. So that if a guy tweaks his knee on a Saturday and he goes in and gets it treated on Saturday, he's probably going to get back to work a lot quicker and allow your company to be a little bit more productive. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these solutions that, a lot of business owners are concerned about putting in place, because just like you said, man, I don't want my employees taking advantage of me. But if we look at the disability as a cost control mechanism, you may find that it's a really good option to put in place. And, really for as little as, $5-6 a week per employee, you could probably even sponsor one for them. And imagine the appreciation your folks would have, knowing that if something were to happen to them off the job, that you've already got their back. That could be a good product to put in play, as opposed to doing a pay raise in the future. Just something to think about. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So from a product standpoint, I only have one really other thing that I want to kind of chat about. We've offered what's known as these new value-added services, and it gives you the option of adding a product, adding a benefit to your employees at absolutely no cost, Sean. What they are, there's a series of different benefits, but the one that sticks out to me in today's current environment is a telemedicine program. So we have a telemedicine program that would allow your employees access to care 24/7, and they wouldn't have to go to a doctor. They wouldn't have to go to a Reading Med right now with all the craziness going on in those facilities. Maybe they have a kid that is sick and coughing, and they want to make sure that kid sees a doctor. Have you ever had an employee take time off of work to take a loved one to the doctor's office for a cold? I think you may have froze on me. So, that would eliminate them from taking time off of work to get that care they need and get right back to work if they need to. Okay, so that can ultimately help your productivity. So telemedicine's a huge advantage, and we can make that available to all your employees at absolutely no cost to you. Or
so even if because I know some of these employees aren't going to pick up coverage. I can just tell you that straight up.
Yep.
Can they get it as well? Is that anyone?
They can, yeah. So we provide it. I'll be honest with you, Sean. It's an opportunity for us to better engage with your employees, to give them something on your behalf, and allow us the opportunity to educate them properly on how the Aflac benefits work. So we want to give them something as kind of a lifeline to be able to educate them about what we do. And that's something that I would definitely want to put in place for you, because there's no cost. There's no obligation to you or your employees to purchase anything from us. It's just a product that we make available because you're a client business owner with us.
So can my part-time guys get that as well?
They can.
Okay. Yeah, that's that. I had no idea you guys did that.
Yeah, so we just started offering these, in the last couple of years, and I know when we first set up your case, might not even been an option. So I appreciate the time today to be able to get you educated on that. And there's one last thing I want to talk about, Sean, and this is going to be completely outside of benefits, and you're going to think I'm crazy bringing it up, because why does Aflac do this? But it's a hiring system. It's a hiring platform. We've partnered with a carrier called Get Hired. And with that, I know you do a lot of your hiring through, word of mouth and referrals, and, you bring on 5 or 6 new people every year. Now, It might not help you a whole lot with sourcing individuals, but there is a mechanism within this Get Hired platform that we can give to you as an employer that will help you post jobs to Indeed, help you post jobs to Craigslist, or really wherever. If you have a sign in your office and says, hey, apply here, it would allow you to actually collect those applications. Your wife would be able to source those from a dashboard, an electronic dashboard, to see all of those applications coming through. But the system does two other things. And if you bring this up to your better half there, she's probably going to love you for it, because the system actually helps you with your entire onboarding. The system will fill out your I-4s, your W-9, your W-4s, your I-9s, your direct deposit information, and it will digitally collect all of that so that she's not chasing down paperwork, so that all the forms are completed correctly. The other great thing is when you onboard a new employee, it sends me a notice, and I reach out to that employee and I say, hey, Mr. New Employee, Miss New Employee, on behalf of Sean and his company, we want to congratulate you on your new hire. And we want to explain to you some benefit offers that Sean makes available. First off, they provide a telemedicine program for you and your family. And so the onboarding experience, we immediately hit them with value of what you're providing, because I know you hired someone, right? And then we walk through options, whether it's disability, life insurance, and these other programs, and it makes that onboarding experience just very, very seamless, and it allows you to kind of streamline the paperwork and everything else that goes along with it. Do you think that might be something that you'd have a little bit of interest in exploring a little bit more?
Yeah, I definitely would. If you want to email me some info on it, me and my wife will sit down tonight after the day's done and definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll send you a couple quick videos. That way you guys can just kind of take a look and see what the platform does. And if it's something that interests you, let me know. Now, the great thing is there's one final piece to it. Have you ever heard of the Work Opportunity Tax Credit?
I have not. No.
So Work Opportunity Tax Credit, would you say majority of the employees that you hire, may fall into any category of state assistance, maybe Medicaid or food stamps? Have you ever hired any ex-felons or ex-veterans, anything, or any veterans?
Oh yeah. My workforce is pretty much all those guys, man.
Gotcha. So the average individual can qualify you up to $9,600 in Work Opportunity Tax Credits. The problem is, ask your CPA about this, because he was talking to you about work comp. Ask him about Work Opportunity Tax Credit. You may find that this is a great program that is just very hard to administer. Our system does the entire administration. So let's say you hire 5 people this year, and on average, you generate $3,000 worth of Work Opportunity Tax Credits. That is $15,000 of tax credits, dollar for dollar, for your business. Can you take advantage of having $15,000 worth of tax credits?
I can't tell you how happy my wife would be if we did that.
So here's my solution for you, Sean. If we can find a way to maybe put some of these programs in place, help you administratively, help your wife administratively, allow you to focus on growing your business and driving new opportunities, bringing on new hires, and doing more sales. If we could do that with that platform, maybe save you $10,000, $15,000 in tax credits. What if you were to take a portion of that tax credit and reinvest into your business through benefits, where we could offer maybe a disability or life insurance to your folks to make sure that you're keeping those quality guys on and making it a win-win-win. Make it a win for your employees, make it a win for your business, and make it a win for me doing business with you. I'd love to put some proposals together and really start hammering out maybe some of these details. Would it be worth my time to generate some of those proposals and get you over all that information to take a deeper dive, deeper look at this?
Yeah, absolutely. I had no idea about that work credit. So if I could save some money there and funnel it back to my team, I would love to do that.
Awesome. So, Sean, I hope I opened your eyes to a few more things that Aflac can do for you. I want to get off the line here, let you get back to running your business, because I got some work to do on my end. And what do you say we follow back up maybe next Tuesday, next Wednesday? How's your calendar look?
Yeah, I could do next Wednesday in the morning, maybe before 10 a.m.
Yeah, let me confirm with that, and I'm going to send you and your wife over some info to look at. I'm going to do some proposal info, and we'll start hammering out some details, and we'll get together next week, and we'll do a little deeper dive, okay?
Awesome. I'm excited.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Yep.